Okie dokie, here we go again with chapter 16 of Sasquatch Escapes. And we know that the last thing that we remember is that Pearl and Ben saw this passing them on a sidewalk. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd be a little concerned if I saw that passing me on a sidewalk. So now we come to chapter 16, Hairy Pudding. Kind of sounds gross. The dollar store cart lay overturned on the steps of the Buttonville Senior Center, the sunbonnet at its side. The center's front door stood wide open, and a tuft of brown hair hung from the doorknob. "Do you have the chocolate bar?" Pearl asked. Ben, who had been holding the Sasquatch catching kit the entire time, nodded. "Yeah, do you think we should open it now?" "Yeah, if we open it, maybe the Sasquatch will smell it." Pearl unlocked the kit, and then she grabbed the chocolate bar. After tearing off the top wrapper, she folded back the foil inner wrapper. A dark, shiny rectangle peeked out. Ben wanted to take a little bite. Pearl held out the bar and quietly called, "Here, Sasquatchy! Here, Sasquatchy!" But nothing big and hairy appeared. Only Ben's grandfather stepped out of the senior center, and he had almost no hair at all. "Ben!" he called with a wave. "Why are you standing out there? Come on and eat some pudding." Even though it was a nice summer morning, the senior center heat was turned on full blast. The warmth made Ben want to curl up and take a nap. He fought a yawn. This was no time to get sleepy. He and Pearl were on an important Sasquatch finding mission. 3 tables had been placed end to end, each covered with pudding cups. Some of the cups were stacked almost to the ceiling. Others were displayed on cake stands. Vanilla, banana, chocolate, butterscotch, and swirl were squeezed into every square inch of the tables. And between the cups stood cans of whipped cream and tubs of sprinkles. "Wow," Ben said to his grandfather. "That's a lot of pudding." "That's a lot of pudding," Grandpa Abe chuckled. "You should see how much pudding we had before Mabel got here." He nodded towards the rather beefy woman who was seated at the back of the room. She peeled off the top of her butterscotch pudding. Dozens and dozens of empty cups littered the floor around her. Tables and chairs crowded the rest of the room, and in each chair sat a very old person. Many had hearing aids in their ears. Most wore thick eyeglasses. Each had a pudding cup or 2. Some of the seniors looked older than Ben's grandfather by dozens and dozens of years, their faces wrinkled like pieces of fabric. "Do you see it?" whispered Pearl in Ben's ear. "No," Ben whispered back, "but I can smell it." The sour odor of wet dog hung in the air, mixed with the sweet sense of banana and vanilla. But where was the hairy beast? Because the room was buzzing with conversation, Grandpa Abe had to clap his hands to get everyone's attention. "Look, everyone," he called. "This is my grandson, Ben." Plastic spoons were lowered and heads turned, causing a ripple of sea of white hair and silver hair, and a chorus of "Hello, Ben" filled the room, along with a chorus of "What'd he say?" "And you all know Pearl," Grandpa Abe said, and a chorus of "Hello, Pearl" filled the room with a chorus of "What did he say?" "Most everyone here is used to work at the old button factory," Grandpa Abe told Ben. Then he pointed to the metal box in Ben's arms. "What you got there?" He read the label. "Sasquatch catching kit." "What are the 2 of you up to?" Ben thought about making up a story. But even if he had an hour or 2 to come up with something fantastic, it wouldn't be better than the truth. "We're hunting a Sasquatch," he said. "And why is Pearl holding a chocolate bar in the air?" Because Sasquatches like chocolate, Ben said. Shh, we're supposed to keep it a secret, Pearl hissed in Ben's ear. Why did you tell him? Don't worry, Ben whispered back. He'll just think it's one of my stories. And sure enough, Grandpa Abe rubbed his shiny head and chuckled. Ha ha, I should live so long to see a Sasquatch, my grandson, the storyteller. And then he gave Ben a gentle little shove toward the pudding table. Go on, eat. And once again the room filled with conversations as the seniors began to discuss matters of importance, such as hip surgery, pigeon feeding, and napping. Pearl grabbed a banana pudding cup and ripped off the top and started eating. I just love these things, she said. And she looked around the room, and then she nudged Ben. You go look on that side of the room, and I'll stay and look on this side. Ben took a cup of vanilla pudding, but he didn't eat it. Instead, he sniffed the air. The wet dog scent grew stronger as he walked towards the back of the room. Hey, said an old man, there's a clump of hair in my pudding. Ben hurried to the man's side, and sure enough, there was a big brown clump. Another old man, who was seated next to Mabel, opened a cup of chocolate pudding and held it under the table. Ha ha, this doggy under here sure likes pudding, the man said. I don't know why you're wasting perfectly good pudding on a dog, Mabel said as she opened a new cup. Dogs should eat dog food, not people food. And pudding, well, pudding is people food. But it's a nice doggy, the man said. Doggy? Squatting, Ben lifted the hem of the tablecloth and peered under the table. The stench nearly knocked him over, as if he had been smacked by a sweaty, drenched sock. And there, right next to a pile of empty pudding cups, was a pair of enormous, hairy feet. Oh, and look at that. It's the end of the chapter. So you'll have to tune in tomorrow for chapter 17, Fog Day. See you then.